Hey, what's up everyone? Kobanarmani456 here today, presenting you all another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. And today I have a battle against my good friend Shofu. If y'all don't know who he is a really big PokeTuber who does a lot of Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battles, and just a ton of Pokemon content in general. So if y'all have not heard of him already, which I'm pretty sure most of y'all already have, make sure to go check out his channel in the description below, as he puts up a lot of really good content, especially if you're into Pokemon. But yeah, so today I finally got a battle with him, a rematch, because it's been about a month since I've actually battled this man, like a month or two, I think. I think the last time I had battled him was during his live stream, and I'd been hounding this man for like a week or two, like, hey Shofu, when are we gonna battle again? It's been forever. And every single time he's always, breeding something, or, EV training something, or getting the power, as he likes to call it. But, finally though, I got him yesterday, and, we both set up some teams, and we're both kind of testing out some stuff. And this is the result right here. As you all can see, we're both carrying the Mega Medicham right here. He's got himself the Smeargle, the Garchomp, the Mandibuzz, the Chandelure, and the Heatran, which I was really intimidated by because, I didn't really have too much to cover this Heatran right here. And I've been swept by a Heatran before, like completely 6-0'd. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be scary right here. He may actually end up like destroying me with that thing. So that was my really big concern right there. But I was kind of relieved when I saw a Smeargle, because I was like, oh, perfect. I've been using this Pokemon, for the past few battles, and it's worked really well. And that is Espeon right here, which you can see on the end of my team, to where basically Espeon has this ability called Magic Bounce, to where if you want to switch him into anything, whether it be like Paralysis, Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Stealth Rock, Sticky Whip, anything like that, it'll bounce it back onto the opponent's side. So basically, Espeon made that Smeargle completely useless, which I was really happy about. So I was like, okay, that's one threat out of the way. But my other concern was the Mandibuzz. So I was kind of like, okay, this is going to be really tough battle. But enough of my rambling. I'm just going to go ahead and start it off right here and let you all see how the battle goes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the battle starts now, and in the beginning he brings out his Heatran, and I bring out my Aegislash Heisenberg. So, when I saw this in the beginning, I was just like, okay, this is a really bad matchup. But honestly, Aegislash is probably going to be the only thing that could, do a good amount of damage on this thing, as it is Fire and Steel type. So I just went right ahead, did Sacred Sword, as I knew I was going to be slower, I was going to be in my defensive form, and I could tank whatever, fire attack he was going to use. But he actually does a substitute, predicting that I was going to switch. So I was just like, oh snap, okay, well, I didn't even expect that substitute at all. But hey, that works. So then, I guess since he predicted that I was going to do a King Shield or something, he did a substitute again. But since I knew he probably thought I was going to do that, I went right ahead and did another Sacred Sword. And that basically took out his substitute again. So he basically lost nearly half of his HP just off substitutes and me breaking them. So then, since I knew it was going to be fooled again, I just went ahead and did the Stab Shadow Sneak and tried to will off some more damage. But then, since he didn't fall for, doing another substitute again, he basically just kind of scorches me right there with a flamethrower. So I was really happy though, because, I brought in Aegislash, hoping that I could actually do some kind of decent damage, later on. But, he kind of just took out most of his HP for me, so, it worked out pretty well. But anyway, I bring out my Latias right here and did the Shadow Ball, hoping that it would actually knock him out, but he actually survived with just a wee little bit of HP. So I was kind of upset about that. So then, right on the next turn, I just did Psychic, even though I knew he did resist it. But, I just tried to get some stab and, stab damage, and with the Life Orb, it was going to do, I guess, a decent amount of damage. So, took out his Heatran, which was honestly the only thing I was really scared about on his team. And he brings out his Garchomp, and I had a feeling that it was Choice Scarfed or, you know, Focus Sashed, so I decided to switch out into my Laquack, which is my Porygon 2. And, you know, since this thing has download, I knew I was going to get a special attack boost, which was going to be perfect for me, and I was going to be able to tank this Dragon Claw. But he switches into his Chandelure, and I did not expect him to do this at all. So I did Tri Attack, and, you know, basically he got a free switch in. But thankfully I have Shadow Ball on my Porygon 2, and the reason why I actually put Shadow Ball on this thing was because I was like, okay, I'm going to put Recover on it, I'm going to put Toxic on it, I'm going to put Tri Attack on it since it's Stab, and then I'd put Shadow Ball to kind of cover Ghost types if I ever do run into a Ghost type. So, you know, he did not expect the Shadow Ball at all, but, you know, now that he realized that I did have it on, he switched into his Brocasso to basically get the free switch right there. And because I saw that, I was like, okay, time to bring in my Espeon. And he predicts that and brings out his Mandibuzz, which is basically Dark type. So I knew whatever I had, this thing is a really bulky Pokemon, so I'm not going to be able to knock it out in one hit at all. So that's why I switched into my Talonflame right here, and he does a Foul Play. And I was just like, holy crap, that did way too much damage right there. So I used Will-O-Wisp on his Mandibuzz right there to go ahead and whittle down his health and lower his attack from the Foul Play, which really did help out a lot right there. And yes, I do run Will-O-Wisp on my Talonflame as well. I know that probably sounds weird to some people, but it has helped me tremendously in so many battles. It's actually helped me win a ton of battles, so don't diss it at all. It is really good. But since he predicted I was going to be doing the Brave Bird, he switched into his Garchomp so that he could go ahead and tank that. And his Rough Skin, you know, basically lowered my health, and then because of the recoil from the Brave Bird, I died. So that kind of sucked, but I was just like, hey, you know, at least I got the Will-O-Wisp on that thing, and, you know, I got some good damage off on this Garchomp right here. So I could finish him off later with something else. But I bring in my Laquack, get the special attack boost, and he switches out into his Brocasso, probably predicting that I was going to do Shadow Ball again. But I did Toxic so that I could go ahead and break off that Focus Sash that I knew he had on that thing. So I was really glad that he did switch into that so that I could go ahead and, you know, get some damage off that. I switched into my Espeon since, you know, I guess he was just like, okay, well, you know, he'll probably leave his Laquack in or something like that. But he did Spore, and because, you know, Magic Bounce, it didn't affect me at all. But since he was poisoned, it didn't affect him at all. So basically, his thing was kind of useless right there. And I had a feeling he was probably going to switch out into his Mandibuzz, so I went right ahead and did the Dazzling Gleam, which took out a huge chunk of HP right there. Did you all see that? I've never seen Mandibuzz's HP fall down that low, because this thing is like super duper tanky. But I guess since most people don't make it really like a special defense wall, more of a physical wall, I think that's why I did so much damage. So I was able to take out his Mandibuzz, which was also another thing that was kind of a threat against my team. And he brings out his Garchomp, so I was just like, okay, this thing has to be Choice Scarfed. And sure enough, it was. And he did the Outrage, but I have Focus Sash. So that's when I just went ahead, did the Dazzling Gleam, and took out his Garchomp right there. Which I was really happy about, because Espeon basically walled one Pokemon entirely, and then took out two Pokemon right there, which was really awesome. And then nearly takes out the Chandelure right here with the Shadow Ball, but sadly survives, and then he takes out my Chandelure with the, you know, the Shadow Ball right there. So, Espeon was really good on this team. It went to work, prevented one Pokemon from even being useful at all, and took out another threat. So I decided, okay, you know what, let me go ahead and bring in my Mega Metacham right here, because I have a priority move. I know he has a Mega Metacham. I need to go ahead and get my speed boost right now, because if I switch into another Pokemon, like if I bring out my Mega Metacham later, I'm not going to have that speed boost, you know, over him, since he hadn't Mega Evolved yet. So I was like, okay, this is perfect, you know, he's going to bring out his Metacham. I should be able to knock it out with, you know, the neutral Psychic right here, Psycho Cut. And also, not only that, it was Stab, so I thought, okay, this is going to definitely knock him out. but it did not at all. He survived with like 6 HP. And that's the exact same thing that happened to me. But thankfully, because my Mega Medicham had a priority move, I could take him out, as his did not have a priority move. So took that out, and then he brings in his last Pokemon right here, which is his Smeargle, and I finish him off with the Psycho Cut. So yeah, that was a really, really good battle. I was really nervous that entire time, but was really, really happy that you know, my Aegislash and the what's that thing called, Espeon, helped me out a ton to get out 2 big threats. So anyway, good battle, Shofu. That was a lot of fun. We will definitely have to do some more later. And yeah, like I said before, if y'all have not checked out his channel, make sure to go do so in the description below. And if y'all would like me to upload more of these Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battles, just make sure to comment, you know, let me know. And also, don't forget to always drop a like and a comment. It really, really helps out a ton indeed. But that wraps it up for this video, so thank you all again for watching. See you all, have a good day. Peace, Colonial Mites.